Hey, Dizzy Juggler here with a short one for you. It's finally happened. PSVR2 is available on PS5, PS5 Pro. We've got SU5. There's some items in the marketplace as well. But there is chaos out there because for some people, VR is not working. I'm going to show you how to fix that and also how to tweak your performance to maybe get a better result here in the VR performance. If you see this at the bottom here, enter exit VR mode like that with no button assignments, then you have the problem. And here's how we're going to fix it. You're going to press R3, go up to the top right. You're going to go into settings. And if we go over here to the VR all the way to the right using R1, go down one to VR mode, press X. You see here you have these question marks. That's your problem. So here's what we're going to do to fix that. We're going to go L1 to controls. We're just going to assign a keybind like we normally do. We're going to go in here, let's type in toolbar. And you're going to go down to VR toolbar toggle. You're going to click X and make it whatever you want. I'm going to use R1 L3. Then we're going to go back up to the search bar here. We're going to type VR. And camera reset, we're going to change that to R1 and options. And then this is the important one that will let you activate VR mode. This VR activate, deactivate, and we are going to select L1, R1 options. For that, that's how it was in the beta. You can make it whatever you want, provided there's no conflict. Now, if you go over here, back to VR, under VR mode, you now see that you have assignments there. The other thing you might want to change here, if you're going to use the PSVR2 controllers, change that to toggle to grab the yoke. And then we're going to go back here to the main menu. And now you see at the bottom there, it says L1, R1 plus options to enter exit. And if you press that sequence of buttons, you will now go into VR mode. Now, the other thing I want to talk about in this video are settings. So go to your VR. If you're having trouble, if things are looking not great or stuttering, try lowering some of these settings here. Put them all to the lowest that they will go. And then if that's good, start increasing things until you start running into the problem. The other thing you want to try here is under graphics here as well. Turn stuff down all the way and then start bringing it up to your heart's content. The other thing here, you might want to turn off photogrammetry, but maybe you don't. That's a big one. Multiplayer, probably turn off multiplayer, and real-time air traffic, you probably want to turn that off. And multiplayer replication models, you probably want to put that to simplified. Basically turn every possible setting that you can down to the lowest. If you get the result you're looking for, start adding things until you find that border where you start losing the quality. Unfortunately, I think that's where we're at. That's the best we can do given the technology, given the state of where the sim is at. But hopefully that will help you have a better experience. Again, as always, the internet connection matters enormously. You need a high bandwidth internet connection with a solid connection, preferably on LAN. Also, different places in the world look differently. I get stuttering in some areas and I don't get it in other areas. Some areas look fantastic because they just look fantastic in the game, VR or not. And in other places, VR or not, they look terrible. And if you are having trouble with your raycast beams not reaching the door, apparently if you get really, really close straight out from underneath, you might be able to do it if you reach. They used to reach in the beta at one point at the beginning, but there's a shortcut. If you get close enough, you can actually do it from here. If you're right underneath, point straight up, you can actually do it even though it doesn't glow. But there's an easier way. If you come over to your VR settings here, the bindings for VR mode, it doesn't actually list it here. So what you need to do is go into the controls under where your bindings normally are, go on the right VR2 Sense controller, type in character, and you will see this, take control of character, and it should be R1 and X. So that's using your right VR2 Sense controller, and if we go back out, I'm going to press R1, X, and boom, we're in the cockpit. And if you want to get back out, all you got to do is the same thing, R1, X on your right VR Sense controller, and you're back outside. The other thing for performance that you might want to try on the PS5 is clear your cache. And in order to do that, you turn off your PlayStation fully, then hold the power button till you hear the second beep. Takes about 3 to 5 seconds. Let go of the button, the power button, when you hear the second beep. Then you will be brought into a menu. You will have to connect your controller by cable. In the menu, look for, I think it's called Rebuild Database and Clear Cache. Select that option and then select Clear Cache. And that might help. It'll get rid of all any temporary files that might be clogging up your system, and it should help with performance. That is something we should be doing fairly regularly. With my PS5 freshly cleaned of its cache and all of my settings turned down, we're loading into the 747, into Toulouse, LFBO, and let's see how we get for performance here.
Blagnac Tower, Clown Uniform Papa Delta 5110, ready at runway tree 2 left, straight out departure.
So loaded pretty quickly, all avionics are on. That was not bad. Unfortunately, we have to turn all of our settings down, and then maybe you can start adding back a few things that are important to you. Right now I have photogrammetry turned off. Maybe you want to turn that on and see how it goes. It'll probably get a little bit worse, but maybe not so bad. You might want to turn on multiplayer instead if that's more important to you. But play around with those settings and find that balance between what you're willing to compromise in performance for what you're willing to accept, having or not having in terms of settings. Hopefully you take that in mind and you take these tips and you have a better experience. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Please, a like and a subscribe. Bye-bye.